And we are live. What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great night. Thank you for being here for Still Conspiracy podcast. We got a lot to talk about today, a lot to go over. Going to be talking some Lakers, going to be talking some Steelers, going to be talking some Ravens. So let's get ready. Let's have a great show. Appreciate you being here, and let's get it started.
Image, your beats are so fire.
We can compete with, we can beat, I feel we can beat the Browns. We can compete with Baltimore if they have Lamar. And we're right there with the Bengals.
That young man put his life on the line for you, for your entertainment.
We were talking all before the game. You know, everyone was like, "Nah, Ravens don't have a shot," and they're right there. What is going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great night. My name is Suge, and this is the Steel Conspiracy, where we talk Steelers and Ravens football. Also, be talking some other sports since football season is in the off season, and debating, discussing, and yeah. I wanna say I appreciate everybody that's here hanging out. Hope you're having a great night. Hope everything's going well. Really do appreciate you guys for the support that you give me. Really helps me out. Really helps me get through a lot of stuff. Tonight I will be running solo because I wanted to make a few announcements about the channel, about the show, and then also to just wanted to give the Brody and Hendo a break. They do a lot of streaming, and they deserve a break. And they actually weren't supposed to do my show this long. They were only supposed to do it for a couple weeks. But things changed, and they gladly gave me their time and were able to come on the show every time I asked to be on the show. So I really want to say I appreciate them and everything they do. Now, before we get started, a few announcements. Moving forward, the Steel Conspiracy will probably won't be coming back until about a couple weeks before the NFL season. The reason being, financially, I need to probably have to get a second job. And that's going to take time away from streaming, not only on Twitch, not only the Still Conspiracy or anything else I do. It's just going to end up taking a lot of my time. So, I plan on bringing it back right before the season, probably before the preseason, maybe 2 weeks before the preseason. And see where I'm at there to be able to do this again consistently. Also, to late night with Suge Night probably won't be back for a while. Also, that I just again the time commitment for it, the time commitment for Still Conspiracy. Right now, I'm just not in a good place to do that. Give that commitment to time. But once I am, I definitely will be back streaming not only Still Conspiracy late night with Suge Knight, but also other things I want to work on. Again, I want to shout out Brody and Hendo. I appreciated both of you guys for lending me your time, lending me your skills, lending me your just your overall persons to be here and do the show. Again, like I said, we were only supposed to do it together for a couple of weeks, and that turned into the whole season. Plus, they've been doing it past the season. So shout out to them. I really appreciate both of them. Like I said, they're like Brett said, and like I've said before, they're real ones. They always are there for you when you need help. They're always there for whenever you ask them for anything, and they've actually never said no to me. So I actually really appreciate both of them. So shout out to Brownie and Hendo. Um, with Twitch, I will continue to do streams when I'm able to. Again, depending on about working a second job when I'm available. So it might be sporadic. So please follow me on Twitch, Suge Knight 1323. I'll try to do stuff. I'll try to pop up here and there when something big happens. But like I said, this right now I need to kind of just focus on myself and focus on family and doing what's best for them. Which even though I love this, I love doing it. It's just the time constraint. It's just hard for me right now. And the time commitment to do it. And so, like I said, I'm going to take a step back, give it a couple months, and we'll be back for hopefully the season moving forward, probably right before preseason. Again, want to thank all the support out there that you guys have given me. I really appreciate it. You guys have been amazing, showing up every week, having good conversation. Talking with me, things like that. I really do appreciate all of you guys showing up every week and supporting me, but also supporting everybody within this community that we have created through LBHT, through Hendo, through Coach Evans, through OTR Mike, and all the other podcasts that we associate with Ferris and LGR. Continue to support everybody. Continue to support those people because that's the biggest thing is supporting smaller streamers. Bigger streamers all have a lot of support, and the smaller streamers they want to do it for fun. And so when you support them, they continue to want to do it, and it doesn't seem like a job because you're supporting them and you're giving them encouragement to keep going. Because sometimes you hit a block, sometimes you hit fatigue, sometimes you hit just a lot of things. And it's very important that support comes not only from friends, but the people that subscribe to your channel and are there to encourage you to keep going. It's one of the biggest things I believe any streamer benefits from is when they get support to continue going. Because sometimes you just don't want to do it. Sometimes you're tired. This isn't a full-time job. People also do jobs that take up a lot of their time and their mental fatigue. It becomes a mental fatigue when you try to be a streamer. And so make sure to support those people. Appreciate the gift of sub. You and that booty. Every time I say that makes me laugh. Appreciate that. Cheryl, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. So, make sure to support all those people. Make sure to continue to, if you find someone that you enjoyed listening to, hearing their thoughts, support them. That's one of the best things you can do for smaller streamers. And it's a real encouragement. It's a real morale booster for them when they have people that support them because they like what they say and they like what they bring to the table. So please continue to do that. Real quick, I want to just shout out some people in the chat. You and that booty. What's up? How are you doing, Brett? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. What up, Bronny? Hope you're having a good night. Yeah, they are the real ones. Hendo and Bronny are the real ones. Anytime. Love streaming with you. Appreciate it, Bronny. I love streaming with you. I hope everything is going well. Congrats on your big news. Appreciate you, buddy. Jeremy Miller, what's up, man? I hope you're having a great night. Appreciate you. See Kokage, my good friend. What's up? What's good, Suge? And I hope everything goes well for you and your family. Bless y'all. Thank you. Dark Pain. Do you family first? Yeah, for real. I mean, again, I'm not stepping away like I don't want to do this anymore. It's time constraint. Financially, I need to start looking at a second job because I want to get ahead. That's if YouTube pay me a bunch of money, then I won't have to worry about it. But I'm not that big, and I don't get a lot of money, if any. I do this for fun because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking to you guys, and I enjoy having conversations. Always have. So I need to think about that first. There's a lot of things I want to do this coming up year. And hopefully one of them is to get to meet Bronny and Hendo in person. Um, that's one of my goals, to meet them, Jose, OTR Mike, Coach Evans, Chris just joking, all these guys. I want to meet in person and hang out with them. And so, that demands sacrifice. So the sacrifice is going to be doing a stream. Like I said, I'll be able to, when I'm able to, I'll do it depending on what kind of schedule I get. Even if I'm doing stuff on the weekends, if I'm able to, I'll stream. So that's uh, what I'll be doing. But you'll still be able to find me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch. When I'm, like I said, when I'm able to stream on Twitch, I'll be there. And you know, you'll be able to support me there, and you'll be able to see my thoughts on certain topics. I know sometimes I don't have the most popular opinion. Probably one tonight I'll be having, but that's okay. I don't mind it. I don't mind having the unpopular opinion. It doesn't bother me. uh Looking forward to it. Going to be a great time. Absolutely, it's going to be a great time. um what it do, baby? Do what's up, Jay? How you doing, man? Hope you're having a great night. Appreciate you, buddy. Watched some of your stream last night. Great job. You're on your way. Good job. I saw some of the questions you had in Discord. I'll hit you up, and we can talk about them when you're available, and we'll get those answers for you. But appreciate you for always supporting, man. And yes, I will be still doing the Ahsoka stuff with Jay. We're just gonna have to work out a time once I figure out a schedule with everything I'm doing, and if I get the second job. But definitely look out for that. Brent, thank you, sure. You always made me feel heard, and you don't even know me like that. It means a lot to me. I'll see you soon, probably in the weekends. Yeah, for sure, Brett. Appreciate it. Like I said, I enjoy doing this. I'm going to continue to do this come around football season. Um, but also sporadically when I can. Once I'm ahead, once I'm in a good place, trust me, I'll be back. I'm gonna focus on some things. I'm gonna focus on trying to make the stream better, trying to make it more professional and things like that because I really enjoy doing this. So expect some big things from me. Your ancestor video was my favorite. That was a good time, really good time. All right, so let's get into some of the sports stuff. The first thing I'm going to start off with is Big Ben hating on Kenny. So one of the podcasts I love listening to is Big Ben's footballing podcast that he does. It comes out every Monday. He does it over the weekend, and then he releases the episode on Mondays. Monday afternoon, Monday morning, depends. And I always listen to it. Recently, he's had some great guests: Mike Tomlin, Bill Cowher. He had Ryan Shazier. He's had James Harrison. He's had a bunch of former teammates, coaches, broadcasters in Pittsburgh, Mel Hodges, people like that. And this week he had Kenny Pickett. So Ben left the year before. They then drafted Kenny. They signed Mitch Trubisky, who were both supposed to replace Big Ben. Now, Big Ben obviously played 19 years, 19, 20 years in Pittsburgh, was drafted by Pittsburgh, didn't play for any other team, won 2 Super Bowls, um, broke some records. I believe holds all the Steeler records for a quarterback. Did amazing things in Pittsburgh. Uh, there was always tension as far as on the field with Ben when it came to the Steeler team, teammates, things like that. Obviously, off the field, he had issues, but that doesn't concern me when we're talking on field issues. But there's always a question about his leadership, things like that. When he left, it was a very sad moment in Pittsburgh history where people, this was our quarterback for almost 19, 20 years. And so, that's a big thing. And not every day a quarterback stays with the same team for over 19, 20 years. But the Steelers then drafted Kenny Pickett. Now, Kenny played for the college team in uh, Pittsburgh, and a lot of people are actually confusing, thinking that Kenny grew up in Pittsburgh. He's actually not from Pittsburgh; he's from Florida, but he just ended up going to Pitt and was drafted by the Steelers. And as soon as he came in, he got a lot of love because people have been watching him for 5 years. That community in Pittsburgh have been watching him play at the college level, and so people were excited at the possibility of him coming to the Steelers. And he was drafted by the Steelers. Even though a lot of people say, under talk about his hand size, talk about certain things about him. They drafted him, and him and Mitch came in, and Mitch ended up getting benched versus the Jets, and Kenny took over. And it took time for Kenny to get adjusted, but he did. Didn't have the greatest rookie season, 7 touchdowns, nine interceptions. But he did help the Steelers, who started 2-6, go to 6-2, and made it a plus 500 season for Mike Tomlin, with big expectations coming into this year. Now, before I get into what Ben said, I will say, as a Steelers fan, I did notice there was tension between Ben and Kenny, because they had asked Kenny if Ben had reached out last year. And I know in the beginning he said no, he hadn't. He hadn't talked to Ben, but he had talked to Terry Bradshaw. And Ben had, I won't say didn't say not favorable things, but maybe condescending is the word about Kenny when it came to certain things. But as you watch the podcast of Ben and talking about Kenny, you can tell he tend to be more appreciative, be more complimentary of Kenny. I mean, again, there were some condescending things. I remember watching the podcast. They were doing it, and it was the game against the Lions. I believe it was the Lions last year, Lions or Falcons. Colt. It was versus the Colts. That's what it was. My apologies. Versus the Colts, and Kenny throws a pass to George Pickens, and George Pickens tries to one-handed and he misses it. And Marquise Pouncey asks Big Ben, "Would you have made that throw?" And he said, "I would have put it on the money." A little condescending, but okay. You're a 20-year quarterback. You've made passes like that before. Okay, sure. But there was just comments that he would make, and I noticed it. And I had noticed that Kenny had said that Ben had not reached out to him, had not talked to him, and they didn't really have a relationship that first year. Fast forward, Ben starts doing this podcast, and he gets Kenny on, and he's very complimentary of Kenny. Talked about his leadership, things like that, and he says, "I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to kill for it," which he did. But he said, "I wouldn't say that I wanted Kenny to necessarily fail, but when someone comes in and replaces you, I still feel like I had it, and I hope that he doesn't come ball out, because then it's like Ben who." Now, as a Steelers fan, some people are agreeing with Ben, some people are disagreeing, things like that. I don't agree with Ben with how he felt, the way he felt. Sorry, the way he felt about it. But I understand, and what I mean by that is you have a guy that stayed with one team his whole life. All kids that are 20 years old, you know, from kids that are 20 years old, the kids who are 25 years old, all they've ever known is Big Ben as the Steelers quarterback. And when you walk away, you kind of lose your identity as a quarterback. Well, now not only do you lose your identity, but a hometown hero comes in and takes your place. And so when that happens, you almost got to think of it as your ex-girlfriend breaking up with you and finding a new guy. Now, people are saying, "Well, you're hating. Why would you hate? Why would you do that? Why would you wish that your successor would fail?" Well, a lot of people do that. They just don't say it. And a lot of people have hated on people from behind closed doors. I know many people that I have sat with who say, I'm not a hater, I'm not a hater, but then we'll sit there behind closed doors and say, oh, I hope that guy fails, or I hope she fails, or I hope they fail. That's hating. You're doing the exact same thing. You're just not doing it. You're just not doing it in public. And so, is Ben hating on Kenny in the beginning? Yeah, absolutely, he was. There's no dancing around it. There's no um, wishy-washing about it or anything like that. And I see you guys are commenting. I'm gonna read your comments in a minute. I just want to finish this. What I'm saying. He was hating on Kenny. Was it right? No, it wasn't. Absolutely not. But I understand why. And sometimes people forget that this is a competitive sport. There's a lot of things on the line, and you can lose it like that. We have seen players come in the league and play only a couple years and get hurt and lose that ability to make money, to play the game they love. Um, and when you retire, you lose that. And a lot of people are saying, well, Ben, he didn't play for the team. Why would he still hate? There's quarterbacks that you can see that hated on their successor. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. They might not have said it, but they sure in the hell do it. Aaron Rodgers is doing it right now too, I believe, Love. There was tension between Peyton Manning and the guy from Stanford. I can't remember. Jesus Christ, I can't remember his name, but you know what I'm talking about. That took over for him. Someone's going to tell me in the chat. When he took over for him. And there was, there's animosity there. There's probably animosity when Tom Brady got hurt and, oh God, who took over for him? Now I can't remember names anymore, you guys. I apologize. But when that quarterback took over for him and led, I believe, the Patriots to the playoffs, I'm guaranteed you Tom Brady wasn't happy about that. And the only difference is Ben said it out loud. Again, I don't agree with what he did. I don't agree with what he said. I don't agree with how he felt. That's not cool to hate on somebody when you should have been there to support them, just like Terry Bradshaw was there to support you. We know that he had tension with other quarterbacks because when they drafted Mason Rudolph, he was outly public about it. He was like, "Hey, why are you drafting this guy? He's not going to help me." And I think that yes, that is narcissistic. I can't even pronounce that word. There you go. Andrew Luck was the one I was talking about, and then the guy that took over for Brady when he got hurt. I forgot his name. That shows how narcissistic Big Ben is, and he's got an issue. But for someone to make it to the NFL, you got to kind of be, narcissist. You kind of got to be a little self want and only worry about yourself because nobody's going to help you get there. And when you do develop friendships in the NFL, it's very hard because again, other people are gunning for your position. Other people are gunning to take your spot. And for Ben, he did that for 20 years, and he came in as a rookie and won and played at a high level. And so his spot was pretty much secure. But I think that if he ever let down, there was a possibility of someone being able to take his spot. And so I understand where he's coming from, but what he did was wrong. And he acknowledged it. He said he was sorry. He apologized. I mean, and that's one thing that I get frustrated about with media and stuff is they don't focus on the whole story. They focus on just that snippet. Oh, Lamar Jackson can't do this. I hate it on Kenny. But they don't see after he apologized to Kenny. He said, I'm sorry. I should do better. I'm here to support you now. Whether Kenny accept his apology or not, that's up to Kenny. Why is everybody worried about it? Half of y'all don't even like Kenny. And I'm not talking about the people in the chat. I'm talking about overall. Half people don't even like Kenny. Think he's a bum. Now you're worried about Ben hating on him? I laugh when people all of a sudden now they care. Like, do you really care? Or you just You just hate Ben. That's okay. You can do that. You're allowed to. That's what's great about this world. You're allowed to hate somebody just because you don't like them. But look at what he said. He told Kenny, I apologize. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I should have been more supportive of you. That's shitty on me. At least he can admit it. There's a lot of people out there that can't admit when they're wrong, can't admit when they do wrong, or even can admit that they're secretly hating on people. There's a lot of people like that. And if you're watching this, maybe you felt that way. But there's a lot of people like that. Sports, life, jobs, careers, people are like that. They hate. And they'll say it because you know why? Because people are going to look down on them. Damn, you're a hater. But you know what? It's hypocritical because a lot of people do it. And that's my thing. I understand. Again, you don't got to agree with me. You don't got to agree with Ben. You could be like, no, he's a piece of shit. That's fine. I am totally, that's okay. But you know what? It's funny that people want to go after him, but yet there's other people that will come out and say things later about a player. Nobody says anything. But they were hating, definitely. Hating on him. You know, there's people on TV right now hating on players, basketball, NBA, NFL, things like that. Nobody says anything. And he admitted he was wrong. He said, I'm sorry, Kenny. I shouldn't have done that. And again, it's up to Kenny to accept his apology or not. Kenny can left that podcast and said, I don't want nothing to do with this fucking asshole anymore. I'm done with them. Cool. That's Kenny's thing. We could all have opinions, but it's up to Kenny. And it's up to Ben. If Ben wants to help him in any way or shape or form and Kenny wants to take that help, hey. If he doesn't and he tells Ben to go fuck off, then go fuck off, Ben. You know? Again, what Ben did was wrong. It's kind of shitty. Kind of makes you a shitty person. But I see where he's coming from. And that's just my perspective. Let's read some of these comments because I feel they're coming after me. We'll start off with this marathon right here, this big old paragraph on it. The difference is those guys were still playing and moved into different teams. It's understandable to feel the way Ben did, but there's no way Pitt forgets about him and Pickett didn't take his spot. Yeah, you're right. He didn't take his spot. And I agree with you. 100% agree with you. He didn't take his spot. There was no reason to hate him. There was no reason. Other than this selfishness of shit, everyone's going to forget about me. This guy, because again, he was the hometown grown hero coming in. And now everyone's talking about him. They're not talking about me anymore. Again, that's selfish because it's like, bro, you had 20 years. You have 20 years of that. Everybody talked about you for 20 years. When you went 15-1 your rookie year, you were the greatest thing since sliced bread. You won the Super Bowl your second year. Instant. Oh, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Look how great he is. Then you won another Super Bowl. Oh, man, this Steelers great. And then you were putting up 5,000 yards, 4,000 yards, six game touchdowns back to back. All these things, all these accolades. People were praising you. It's time to let somebody else get the praise. And you're mad because you're not going to get that praise anymore. That's selfish. And Ben's selfish. And he knew it. But he admitted it. I can appreciate that. Again, he said it. He goes, I'm going to get killed for this. And he did. You go look at all these tweets. You go look at all these comments. You look at people talking about it. He killed him. He's taking it, though. Can you say the same for some other athletes, some other commentators? No. They're not going to do that. They don't want to be looked down on. He took it. Let the man be. I mean, again, you want to talk crap about him, that's your business. You want to talk about him? Cool. But it's up to Kenny to forgive him. Whether or not he does, it's up to him. You can have an opinion on it. Piece of shit. He's not a piece of shit. You understand? You don't understand? You agree? You don't agree? I'm just saying I understand. Ben is a piece of shit, but that's not hate. It's just based on his track record, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, some people, some people, have said bad things about him. I find it funny though. All his some teammates are coming on his podcast talking to him. He was hated so bad, but we'll see. See who else comes on. Stop making excuses for Ben Raven's better. See, now here's the thing, Big Reg. Cool. That you want to call him that is cool. It has nothing to do with him on field. What does that got to do with him on the field? I'm not talking about off the field. Off the field doesn't concern me. I'm talking about on the field. So you can make comments like that. Okay, cool, sure, whatever. But like on the field, he's a great quarterback. He's probably a top 10 quarterback. People don't want to say that, but his numbers are there. He's won Super Bowls. He's a top 10. He's actually top 5 in one category, top 10 in a couple others. Top 10 quarterback of all time. But if you don't like him, that's your business. Hey, your business. I don't care. But this comment is frustrating because when I try to talk about Ben, I'm talking about on the field stuff. And you can say, well, this is off the field. Sure, okay, but we're talking about an on the field player in Kenny, and this is why Ben was hoping that he didn't succeed, not anything off the field. He's talking about on the field. But when you say comments like this, like I just don't take you seriously because is that all you got? Because you can't talk about his play on the field. You can't say, oh, well, he was a bad quarterback. You can say he's a bad quarterback in the Super Bowl. Yeah, didn't play well, but he played great in the playoffs. Showed up when it mattered, Didn't play good in the Super Bowl. Okay, can't say he didn't play well during NFL seasons because he's thrown for 5,000 yards. He's thrown for 34 touchdowns. He's thrown 6 touchdowns in a game multiple times. Not a lot of quarterbacks can say that, So again, you can have this opinion. I don't care, but it just makes me like, okay, like, is that all you got? Like, why don't you talk about on the field stuff with him? Because you can't really bash him in any way other than maybe he was a bad teammate and didn't play well in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So that's fine. You can have that opinion. No problem. Let's go move up a little bit because I missed a bunch of stuff. I definitely got to fix that. Yeah. Ben gives Hendo a run for his money when it comes to hating. Wow. Pickett got big hands to fill. Big Robert's pressure. It's a good one. It's a good one, living legend. I like. So he's in his feelings. Yeah, he's in his feelings. He's in his feelings, and he didn't know how to express them. But again, people are like that. People are constantly in their feelings. They just don't say it. But guarantee you, I have heard people talk about other people, and then 2 seconds later they smile on their face. I don't give 2 shits. I'll tell you how I feel. I don't care. It does not affect my life whatsoever. I tell you how I feel about you. I try to be nice to people. I try to be courteous. I don't give 2 shits. If I don't like you, trust me, you're gonna know. You're gonna know if I don't like you. Because I don't give 2 shits. And I've heard people sit here and say smile on someone's face and then behind closed doors. Oh, I hope they fail. I hope they don't, whatever. So what if you're sitting here calling Ben a hater, you're doing the same thing. It's kind of hypocritical, right? Yeah, I don't know what that meant. You brought the franchise to 2 Super Bowls. Kenny and Mac have a lot. Yeah, Mac Jones. Is it Mac Jones? Yeah, I think that's who it was. No, not Mac Jones. Who's the one that took over for Brady when he got hurt? Matt Castle? Might have been Matt Castle. Matt Castle let me just Super Bowl. We're not talking about his on the field play. We're talking about him as a person, and that comment is about him as a person. But I'm talking about him as a person, as a football player. There's him as a person off the field and him as a person on the field. This has to do with him as a person on the field. It has to do with football. This has nothing to do with him off the field, just living his everyday life. He was not happy with Kenny drafted by the Steelers and probably having success because he didn't want to get forgotten about on the field. So again, you can dislike him as a person, off and off on the field, off the field. That's fine. You can say, hey, whatever, he's a piece of shit. Again, your choice. But has to do with on the field football issue. And that's what I'm saying. Again, the comments, you could say that all day. But like, what is the point of that bringing that up? Because this goes into a deeper issue. Because we're always talking about guilty until proven innocent, right? And again, I know Bronny's in there getting ready to go at me because he said not for certain people. You're right, Bronny, 100%. But that's still how we should live. And you're right. There's certain people that should get that benefit of the doubt. There's some people that shouldn't. And it's shitty, but that's how it is right now. But we always say prove it until innocent until proven guilty. I wholeheartedly believe that you should be innocent until proven guilty. I believe that with everything that's going on with Jonathan Majors, everything that went on with Ezra Miller, even everything, even no matter until they boom, because we've seen situations right now. You're talking about the Buffalo kicker who he's got his name cleared, but now he doesn't have a job and has his life destroyed. That should be the standard, and we don't live by that. When it comes to certain people, we don't live by that. We tend to look the other way or say, "Oh well, doesn't count for those people." And my big thing is there's been a lot of people who've been arrested, who've been charged. Yeah, we don't bring that up about that person. Then there's people who haven't been charged, haven't been arrested, but yeah, we want to bring it up. We want to bring up the fact that, oh well, he paid this person out of court. Yeah, a lot of people have. I've seen a lot of actors, actresses, athletes pay people out of court, settle out of court, but we don't bring it up. Why? I understand people don't like Ben. Okay, and I actually told Bronny. I think Bronny's gonna is probably gonna say this. You know, I'm not. I was done defending Ben as far as on the field. I think he's a top 10 quarterback. I think he's one of the best to play. I think he's one of the all-time greatest Steeler quarterback, obviously, and one of the top 2 or 3 best players for the Steelers. But what annoys me is we always talk about people can change, people can be forgiven, people can learn from their mistakes. Yet we don't want to let those mistakes go, fade. We always want to bring them up to bash somebody. And that's all, and you do it for what reason? People make mistakes. That's just how it is. Now, people don't learn from them. Yeah, you can bring it up 24/7. But people move on, and there's all kinds of athletes that have done it. We can name them. They moved on. They bettered themselves. Whether they did it because they had to, or whether they did it because they were actually sorry for what they did. People move on, and they learn from their mistakes. Why do we always got to bring those mistakes back just to mess with somebody, to tear someone down? And as fans, I get it. You want to do that to your rival, to the guy you didn't like, but it's just why? Kobe Bryant died. His daughter died with him, and people started bringing up the rape case. Well, he's a rapist. You're crying over a rapist. And I saw people go full-fledged after people for saying those things. And in some ways it's true. In some ways, in some ways it's true. But at the same time, he was charged and found not guilty. They dropped the case. So if we're going by that, then Now I know you'll hear people say, "Well, just because you didn't get found guilty, you can still be a rapist." Yeah, absolutely. Nobody knows what really happened between when a situation with those people. But because we don't know, why do we then try to pass judgment when we don't know? And that's my thing. We don't know, and yet we still try to pass judgment. Would you like that done to you? Would you like someone passing judgment on you that doesn't know the situation, that wasn't there? Yet they look at you and say, "Nope, he did it. She did it. They're a bad person." Yet they weren't there. That's my whole thing. Again, you can have your opinion. It's you. I'm not gonna get mad at it. And to be honest with you, it's a good discussion to have. I'm just saying, you know, why do we do that? Why do as people, why do we do that? That's my problem. So I guess some of these some of these because I know people. Some of the most talented people are scum. Doesn't take away from the accomplishment. Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. Magic Johnson, scumbag. There's been talks about Big Ben being a scumbag. Muhammad Ali, big time scumbag. He was a womanizer, and I think he was a woman beater too. Huge scumbag. Yet he is revered, loved, and considered one of the greatest. Considered the greatest boxer of all time. Constantly cheating on his wife. Did a documentary on him. Michael Jordan. People bring up Michael Jordan 24/7. How shitty he was as a person. But he's considered the greatest basketball player of all time, unless you talk to Brodney. You know, you're absolutely right. Some people are just shitty people. Sometimes shitty people don't make the greatest athletes of all time. Innocent until proven guilty isn't something that we practice in this country in public or the justice system. I mean, it should be, Del Bronny. I mean, we can both agree. We both agree that we can both agree that he should be. That it should be that way, and it should go always. It should go to every person, every color, every gender. Yeah, it's not how it is. People judge people, and they automatically make a their own conclusion without even all the facts. And then when the facts come out, they've already destroyed these people's lives, and it sucks. You know, I think it's shitty way that we are now. It is what it is, but that's kind of shitty. Exactly, Don. And I never said Ben was a bad QB. He's just a bad person. Again, I'm not saying you're not. You're saying he's a bad QB or anything. But I mean, but you see what I'm saying, Big Red. You went straight to that. You went straight to, oh well, he's a rapist. Again, what is it's like? You go straight to that for what reason? Because you don't like Big Ben. You just you want to shit on him, and that's the first thing you want to go to. You know, and when I'm talking about what's going on with him and Kenny, I mean, you could have said he's a bad teammate. Look what happened with him and AB. Look what Le'Veon Bell said. Look at all these things. But you went straight there, and that to me is like a weak argument. I mean, yeah, it's there. We've all acknowledged it, but like, it's been how long? You don't think the man's changed? You don't think he's grown? You don't think that he's you know learned from those mistakes? And if you don't think he did, then okay. There's no. I can't change your mind. I'm not trying to change your mind, but I'm just saying. To me, when that's the first thing brought up, I just to me it's just a weak. And I'm not saying you're weak. I know you're probably thinking this motherfucker talking shit. I'm not saying you're weak, but I'm just saying when that's the first thing brought up, it just it's just I don't know. It just doesn't sit well with me, and that's just me. Especially if you're a male, you're treated guilty until proven. We won't even get to that. People can change. John Legend singing his old hits again. uh, you can't always let stuff go, just like people still bring up Deshaun Watson. Yeah, but Deshaun Watson stuff just happened 2 years ago. This case was, I believe, 15 years ago, maybe 16 years ago. But again, you have that every right to bring that up. I ain't mad at you. You know. Shout out to Kingslayer for the 2 months in a row. Really appreciate you. People are at our people are people at the end of the day. Absolutely, it's hard to let things go when the person isn't punished, whether they changed or not. That is very true. Also, when you don't, when you feel. Oh, let me ask you a question, Bronny. Um, if the person who was harmed feel they got they got retribution for what happened to them, is it our job to continue to make sure that person's punished, even though the person that was hurt feels like they got their retribution? I can't even say the word. They got their comeback from that person, basically. Do you think like that's our job? Just let me know in the comments. I just want to know. He is the greatest of all time. Talking about Michael Jordan, should be for sure. We can't assume that he's changed when he has gotten away with it. I mean, since that time, we haven't heard. Well, because then again, you could say, well, people, they just become smarter and can get away with more stuff. Um, no, you're right. You can't assume that he's changed. I would hope he changed for his family, his kids. He has a little daughter. You know, I hope he changed for that. We can't assume you're right. So you're right about that. But at the same time, like, where what is how why is it up to us to make sure he changed? That's up to him, the person that he harmed, and whatever higher being that person believes in. If that person believes in a higher being or whatever, that's for them to know. It's not really for us to know. But you're right, we don't know. So that's a good one, Big Red. You're right. Financial retribution doesn't include mental financial reimbursement. Re, ugh, I get what you're saying, Living Legend. I apologize. You're right. I don't think talking shit about a person is punishing them. A person might figure someone who wronged them, but they won't necessarily change someone else's opinion of them or forgive them. Okay, gotcha. All right, but that's just my thought on it. If you have some thoughts, leave them in the comments. Let me know. We could talk about some more some other time. So next topic: is Lamar ready to have a big season? Real quick, go back to this. One of my biggest issues with the justice system in general is the severe punishment of those who clearly lied with false accusation. Oh, let's not talk about that. That's a whole group discussion for another time, Darth. Um, because you're absolutely right. That is a huge issue in the justice system, and it you can see it nowadays. It's really affecting a lot of people, and it's shitty. But that's a whole different topic for a whole other day. Is Lamar ready to have a big season? Now, if you watch Lunch Break Hot Take, I asked this question to Jose, and I said, Jose, many people in here are Ravens fans or know about the Ravens. I said, Jose, how can because Lamar has came out and said, whether it's literally or just overall, um, that he wants to throw for 6,000 yards, and people, people are like, hey, he's got all these offensive weapons. He's about to have this big year. And I heard Lunch Break Hot Take, I've heard other shows say, oh, he's going to throw for 5,000 yards, 30 something touchdowns, maybe even in the 40s. And I asked Jose, I said, Jose, how can you expect him to have this big year when he never had? And, I said, you're having a wide receiver that you brought in who's coming off of missing a whole year, and had a knee injury. You have another receiver that was on your team that missed a whole year, coming off injury, and you drafted a rookie. Now, mind you, Ravens have not drafted well at wide receiver. Yet, looking at this Zay Flowers, looking at what people projected he was going to be, they feel like he's that wide receiver. And Jose said, well, he's just never had the OC and things like that. And now he's got weapons around him. And, okay. I mean, that's very true. The OC wasn't the greatest. So I wanted to kind of bring this, look at this. This is Lamar's stats for the 5 years he's been here in the league. The MVP season, he threw for 3,100 yards, 3,100 yards, 36 touchdowns. I don't know if he had a passer rating of 113, QBR of 83. I don't know if they don't have his running in here. He completed at a 66%. Does not throw a lot. Again, Jose brought this up, talking about scheme and everything, that the scheme wasn't really a throwing scheme under that OC. Now they've brought in a new OC, and a lot of things are expected. So can Lamar have this explosive season everyone's expecting to have? I believe he can, but there's certain things that got to happen. Obviously, health, not just for him, for his wide receivers, for his O line. Last year, that O line was a makeshift O line. Adding pieces to keep him safe, and they weren't unsuccessful because he got hurt and didn't miss some of the season. Obviously, two of his wide receivers have been injured. So are they going to stay injury free this year? And then again, Lamar himself, he's been hurt the last 2 years. Gets hurt about the 9th, 10th game of the season, 11th, and then misses the rest of the season. So can he have a big year? Yes. If the OC puts him in a position to throw the ball, I think he can have a big year. It also depends how much he's throwing. If they're keeping his throws low and, only throwing 22 to 30 throws a game, he might not get to 5,000. May get to 3, maybe 3.5. But I think if they want to get him, if he wants to get those high, he's got to throw the ball more. Obviously, the offense needs to be more of a throwing offense, and his wide receivers need to make plays. Again, comes back to health of wide receivers. Also comes to the OC. What is he going to do? Is he going to play, to the Ravens' strength and running the ball like they have been, but also got Lamar hurt? Or are they going to just stretch the field? They have the personnel to do it. It just all depends what they decide to do. Lamar would have like 3 touchdowns in a game, but only have like 150, 200 yards. He could do that though, because that's what the offense was built around. I don't know if if they're gonna come out throwing for 400 yards per game. They can. They have the personnel to do it. Do I see the OC doing that? I don't know. Also, this is going to be Lamar's first year learning whatever this playbook is. So how much he can grasp the offense is going to be a big issue. I think that's a question that needs to be answered. How much of this system will he know? Will he understand? Obviously, we know that he ran a pro style system at Louisville. We know that he can make the throws. So can this offense put him in that position to make these big games, 300-400 yards, 4 touchdowns, things like that? We'll see. I think he's going to throw for 3,300 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 10 picks. That's where I see him at. Let me know in the comments if you agree. If you don't agree, you see him throwing higher, you see him throwing lower, let me know. Love to hear your thoughts. Yes, I believe it's ready to have a big season. Living legend. To be fair, though, Dart, a big problem is the lack of punishment for people who actually commit these crimes. Very true. Um, True, Rodney. Some people have possession of narcotics are given longer sentences. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Rivers have depth at receiving tight end. If push comes to shove, likely can be moved to slot unless he shows he can go outside. Absolutely, I was referring specifically to domestic violence, sexual assault, rape, etc. The justice system is from pretty much every single angle. Agree, Rodney. If you have any more Lamar thoughts, let me know. We'll go back to it. All right. Next topic. Nuggets sweep the Lakers. This was tough. This was a tough one. Lakers went into this series. I thought they were going to be able to show up. And Bronny says Lamar is going to throw for over 4,000 yards, run for 5, and be in the running for MVP. Okay. I thought the Lakers were going to show up, dominate inside with their size. I did not see Murray shooting like this. On one of the recaps I did with Adelia, I asked because she's a Nuggets fan. I asked her, I said, has Murray been shooting like this all year? And she said, yeah, that's how he's been shooting all year. He has been hitting those shots because I did not think Murray would shoot like this. And he shot the lights out. And a lot of people have been talking about the series, and I think where the series turned was in, I believe, game 2. It happened in game 3 too, but in game 2, they had kind of were slowing down Murray, and then he went on a tear from 3-pointer. I think he made like 3-4 in a row. Total, like by 12 points. It might have there might have been there's 2 times it happened, but the game 2 in Denver, it happened. And I think at that point the Lakers were so beat down because he had just defended against a very good 3-pointing team. And coming in the series, I don't know if the Lakers or even myself felt like this team could shoot the 3 like that. And when that happened, I think it demoralized the Lakers, and they just weren't able to recover mentally. And we saw it in all 4 games. They were leading or close to the lead, and then in that third quarter, they just something like in the and it was never like the beginning of the third quarter. It was always like 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left. They absolutely just got destroyed the last 5 minutes of that quarter. I think, and even last night, they're up, I believe, like 16 points, and they only score 16 points in the quarter, and Denver scores like 30 something. It's hard to win a game like that. And I don't know mentally what happened in those third quarters, but it just every time in those third quarters, just they fell apart. I feel like a little bit of age caught up to LeBron, but I didn't see too much. Maybe that foot was really bad to the point that it was hard for him. But I also think players didn't show up. I think Anthony Davis didn't have a really good series. D'Angelo Russell, obviously. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura showed up. Lenny Walker wasn't much of an effect. There really wasn't anybody else off the bench. Dennis Schroeder, I felt defensively he did okay, but offensively didn't really show up. Obviously Vanderbilt was not known for his offense, and I thought maybe defensively he could have helped, and they didn't really play him. They would lean more on Hachimura. But at the end of the day, we look at the stars, and Anthony Davis had a hard time in the series. Whether it was noise, whether that first game where Jokic got this triple-double and it just demoralized him mentally, I'm not sure. But at some point, AD just felt like he couldn't compete. Like you could see it in his face, and maybe it was from the threes that Jokic was hitting on him that were step back, 1-footers, flying in the air, high arcing threes. It just did something to Anthony Davis. I don't know what it did, but it just took his confidence away. And so, a lot of people are going to say that, that Denver was a better team. You can't look at these games and say, well, Denver was just blowing the Lakers out. Like they really weren't. Like the Lakers were in every game. It's just they broke down mentally. Why, I have no idea. But it was frustrating to watch. And where we go from here, I have no idea. Where do the Lakers go from here? Um, and we'll talk about some of the things right now going on with LeBron. But first, um, 4,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 35 passing touchdowns with 10 rushing touchdowns, 500 yards rushing, and home field advantage in playoffs. Okay. Less sweep. Had to win games when your superstar are hard to win games when your superstars are inconsistent and making poor decisions. Yeah, facts. When Eric Gordon hit his threes and Jokic hits two, hit his second what the fuck shot, I was like, yeah, it's over. Facts. Gordon was pointing at the three all series. D'Lo got destroyed all series, became a liability like cheap insurance. Facts. Um, I yeah, you know Gordon was hitting threes. Jokic was hitting unbelievable threes. Murray was hitting, just these shots are unbelievable. Um, there was games that and there was two games. I think it was games 2 and 3. They had taken Murray out of the game, like he wasn't scoring, and all of a sudden that third quarter would come, and they would just start scoring at will, and it just felt like the Lakers could never catch up. They could never get their footing, and the Nuggets were just able to keep going, keep it rolling. Um, they're bad decisions. Yeah, LeBron made a lot of bad decisions, especially with his 3-point shooting, especially with him driving the ball. Like he should have stayed doing that. There was no reason to stop driving the ball. They couldn't stop him, and if they did, they fouled him up until that last play in Game 4. And AD should have, he gave 40 the first night. I forgot what he gave the second night, but I think after he gave that 40, he put a 40, and they still lost, and Jokic had a triple double. I think mentally, AD just checked out. I just think he felt like, yeah, we're not going to be. I can't do this, and I think that derailed him. And it didn't even really derail the team because they were still in most of these games, but I think he just became so because it felt like every time they were there, Jokic hit this amazing shot out in front of him. And it just made Anthony Davis slump more and more and more and doubt himself more and more and more. Where do you go from here? I don't know. There's reports that LeBron has said he's got to think about what's going to happen. There was actually a thing today that shout out to Ferris Mathana. New York Knicks are favored to get LeBron if he doesn't stay with the Lakers. You have the Clippers, the Cavaliers, the Suns, Golden State, Dallas Mavericks, Miami Heat, Sacramento Kings, Milwaukee Bucks. Some crazy teams on there to see if he went to. Let me know in the chat where you think he's going to go. If he's going to stay with the Lakers or he's going to go somewhere else. We do know he wants to play with Bronny. Bronny's going to USC, I think, next year. So LeBron would have to play another year. And then if Bronny came out, which I don't think he is, to be honest with you. I think people are assuming that. I don't think he's coming out. I think he's going to wait 2 years, 2 or 3 years. It's just me. So we'll see where do you think LeBron's going to go? Jokic is a unit on offense. Do the best you can against them. Yeah, and I think they did well in spurts, but just couldn't do it the whole game. And he was still able to get triple doubles. Who we signed in the offseason is going to be really interesting. Yeah, there's the Kyrie Irving, there's the Trae Young, Chris Paul is out there. I've seen some things, being said, so we'll see what happens. LeBron gave his all, and AD didn't match that energy when LeBron got gassed, like indicated. Yeah, that was very true. That was the whole point of bringing AD. Like, you're supposed to be the man, and like you're in the elimination game, and you're just. And I get it. Jokic is a handful, but you got to go to your coach and say, "Yo, I'm going to guard him the whole game, and I'm going to shut him down." Like, you couldn't even do that. Or you say, "Yo, Hachimura, you guard him. I'm gonna go off on offense. Throw me the ball every time." Like, you got to do something, because it just felt like you didn't even show up, and that was just very disappointing. Might as well go back to Cleveland and wrap it up. Yeah, might as well. There was a funny tweet. I didn't screenshot it, but someone it goes, the Lakers are going to try to keep their young core together, and then Kyle Kuzma retweeting and say, "Yeah, I heard that before." That was pretty funny. I thought that was actually pretty hilarious. Yeah, let me know where you think he's going to go. I hope he comes back next year. I hope he can run it back. I hope he's going to get foot surgery, hopefully, and then, um, AD hit the gym, and try to come back next year. Word on the street is we might make a run for Trey Young. Personally, I want Leonard. I would Leonard or Trey Young. I would take over Kyrie Irving right now. I wouldn't want either. I would take one of those two over Kyrie Irving. What do you do with AD? Do you keep him, trade him? He hasn't really lived up to what he was brought here for. Do you move on? I don't know. A lot of questions, but we have the whole offseason to figure that out. And I think that the Lakers will do the right thing. And I think LeBron's going to do the right thing. And he's going to come back and be ready, get his foot surgery, motivate AD. And I think we can start off better, and see where we go from there. All right. About to get out of here. If you have any other comments, questions you want to ask, leave them in the comments. There is a pinned link if you want to send in a stream elements. Read your comment on stream. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Like I said, if you weren't here earlier, Still Conspiracy, it will be back around 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a week before preseason. Again, I'm going to take some time. I need to get myself financially in a better position. So I'll be taking on a second job, so I won't be able to stream as much. I'll still be around. You can still follow me on Suge Knight 1323 on Twitch. I'll try to stream as much as I can on there when I'm available. But I need to think about my family. Think about some things I want to do. There's things coming up that I really want to do, and so it's going to cause me to get a second job. I want to obviously go out there to see Lunch Break Hot Take, OTR Mike at their meetup. It requires money. Unless someone wants to let me borrow some money, I got to come up with that money. So, Still Conspiracy is not going away. It's just taking a break. Late Night with Suge Knight, taking a break. I'm gonna start doing some research, doing some things I want to start doing, and getting that taken care of, and really trying to do some stuff that I've had ideas for my channel for a while also doing stuff like this and continue talking sports. I really enjoy doing it. I enjoy the people I've met doing it. Like I said, shout out to Bronny and Hendo for, being so supportive and being there for me when I asked them to do the show. Even though it was only supposed to be a couple weeks, they did it over for almost 6 months, even though they have their own stuff they do. So shout out to Bronny, shout out to Hendo. I really appreciate it. Make sure to support all of them. Just make sure to support the groups. The LGRs, the Let's Get Ready, the Lunch Break Hot Take, the Road Podcast, the Ravens Roundtable, Ravens C, Big Reg, Mr. J's doing his thing, Living Legend. Shout out to all these people that are doing podcasts. Make sure to follow them. Make sure to help support them, because that's again one of the biggest things about small streamers is the support. Supporting one another and supporting, because it helps. It helps those days when you don't want to do work, or you don't want to do a stream, or you don't want to do that clipping, or you don't want to do that editing. Getting the support from you guys really helps. So make sure to continue to do that. Make sure to continue to be awesome and great. I appreciate all of you. Look at some of these comments real quick. Mr. Jose, what's going on? How you doing, sir? Hope you are well. Appreciate you. Do you think we resign AR? I don't know. Is he worth it? Bronny had an issue with him. Um, Even though he showed up to play every night, there was some, issues taking over the ball and things like that. Can he continue to do that with LeBron? Can he continue to um, be that type of player? We'll see. You know, I would bring him back, but to be honest with you, I don't like the Dylan Brooks. Get a defensive stopper, something we don't have on our team. A defensive stopper. But that's just my opinion. AD ain't been the same since his brow got detached. Nobody want him back, Jay. Still conspiracy for life. I appreciate it. Well, we'll let Palinka decide that. Dylan Brooks on his way to the Z League as we speak. Facts. I would bring Dylan Brooks to the Lakers. Defensive stopper. He's not going to be weighed upon to be a scorer. Bring him. We need something because defensively, especially in this Nuggets series, you saw it. Nobody showed up to play defense. Nobody showed up, to try to play defense. So we'll see. Facts. Living legend, still conspiracy for life. Again, still conspiracy is not going anywhere. We're just taking a break. Definitely the support is fire. Absolutely. It's one of the biggest things which I love about a community, in this community, especially the LBHC community. There's always a support. They give everybody, they give everybody support, and they've always tried to help. Obviously, before they just decide to monetize it with their new tier, they always helped, suggestions, pointed you in the right direction, and get you to people that could help you making your streams, your podcast, your content better. And in the process of that, making a community that is welcoming, very understanding, all come from different walks of life, but also all come with the same hunger, the same drive to do something. And they've kind of helped facilitate that. So shout out to Brody and Jose. I really appreciate you guys. Both of you have been amazing. And this isn't like I'm going. Sound like I'm going somewhere. Like I'm leaving for the rest of my life. I'm not. I'm just gonna take a break. Gotta get a second job. I might not be around as much, but when I am, I'll be here. And again, I plan to bring Still Conspiracy back right before preseason, and then hopefully I'll be able to do it consistently again, and we'll go from there. Hopefully I can find me a new co-host or co-host. So if you know anybody who wants to do some co-hosting, let me know. And yeah, we're gonna try to grow. We're gonna try to get better at things. So like I said, I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna do some, looking at some stuff to try to, things I want to do, things that I want to improve on the channel. Like I said, me and Mr. J are still gonna do Ahsoka. We'll just probably have to work out a time once I figure out what I'm going to be doing with the second job, or if I get a schedule. But definitely look out for that. Living Legends, and I'll be your co-host. Then. Living Legend, don't tease me, okay? Don't you tease me. But if you want to be my co-host, I mean, you'll be more the host than me. You'll be able to actually read stuff, unlike me. Let me know. DM me, Twitter, Discord, whatever. Get to me. Get to me, and I'll hit you up. We can work something out. Let me know if you're serious. If you're just messing with me, shame on you. Anything else, Andrew? Real quick, we'll do this. We'll do this real quick for Mr. Jose. Last couple minutes. It's been a busy day, or not busy day. I went into work today, and nobody was in the office. I was by myself for like 4 hours, and then people showed up. And it's like, for some reason, I'm playing Apex right now, do not know why I'm grinding ranked Apex. But I'm playing it, and it's kind of taken over my free time. I haven't been playing too much Magic. I think I'll have a tournament this weekend. I played a tournament this past Sunday. Went 2-2 before I dropped. I wasn't playing that well. But maybe this weekend I'll stream my tournament depending on how I feel. You about to spit some bars? Nah, this is Stardew Valley music, man. Trying to temper my excitement for Ahsoka. Hype is real for me. Hope for the best. Yeah, I think Ahsoka is going to be awesome. I think we're going to get a lot of good surprises. So I'm super excited about it and where we go from here and where this takes us into the next movie, because obviously they announced that all this is going to come together in a movie, and that's when we're going to all these shows are going to be a part of a movie and to expand the universe. So it's gonna be awesome. Super excited about it. Again, make sure to check out when me and Jay start doing those reactions. Shout out to the lovely Adelia. Congratulations on your Nuggets sweeping the Lakers. I know that you must feel great about it. Really happy for you. Hopefully I would like to see you win a championship, Adelia. I really would. NBA championship to celebrate. So I hope you guys get it. And Jokic, goes out there and proves he's the best player in the world. What's good, Mr. Hendo? Shout out to Hendo, the Rogue Podcast. If he wasn't here earlier, I am taking a leave a break with the Silk Conspiracy for financial reasons, but I'll hopefully be back a couple weeks before preseason. But shout out to Hendo Brani. Again, I asked them to be on the show for a couple weeks when I first started, and they graciously accepted and then continued to be on the show longer than expected. Never saying no to me, always showing up to do the show. And I just want to say I appreciate both of them and thank them very much for doing that. They're both greatly appreciated. Make sure to follow them. Make sure to follow both of them. And like I said, you'll see me around when I'm available. Adelia says, I feel great about it. Awesome, Adelia. Damn, what? What happened? Damn. The big thing I'm excited about is obviously The Flash. If you haven't heard some of the spoiler-free reviews, everyone's saying it's an amazing comic book movie. Some people are saying it's the greatest comic book movie ever. I'll temper my expectations on that, but I am excited to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. I've always been a huge Flash fan and a Flashpoint fan also. So I'm super excited about this. Can't wait to see it. I know people, again, I've said this before, I've tweeted it out. If you feel some type of way about the Ezra Miller situation and you want to boycott it, do you not want to watch this movie, whatever, how you feel, you're more entitled to those opinions, but also people are entitled to see the movie and have those opinions. So if you have that opinion, express it, let it be known, but don't attack people that decide to see the movie. Don't attack people that say that the movie is good. Again, there's controversy around it. We understand it. But at the end of the day, people have a choice and a right to choose what kind of media they consume. And if people choose to consume this movie, then let them consume it. That is up to them. It's going to be better than Quantumanium. I like Quantumanium. I don't know why you guys hate it. I actually need to get Hendo to talk about Quantumanium because apparently he didn't like it. Or he thought it was dumb or whatever. But yeah, no problem. Thank you. Appreciate it, Hendo. I really do appreciate you. Again, this is not a goodbye or anything. I'm leaving. I want to be able to come see you guys in August. It's May, so June, July. I have 3 months to make some money to come and see you in August. I want to be able to go to the Rams game versus the Steelers, the Raiders versus Steelers, because that's on my birthday. And then I want to be able to come to Baltimore on the last game of the season, Steelers versus Baltimore, to come watch a game with you guys. These are all things I want to do. So I got to make some money now. And unless the stream was sending me hundreds of dollars at a time, I got to get a second job because I want to do these things. So that's what I'll be doing. So I'll be back. I heard The Flash is good. I have absolutely no desire to see it. There you go. See, that is the mindset you should have. If you don't want to see it, go right ahead. That is your choice, and you should be respected for that choice. But also, too, people should respect it if they do want to see it. I heard someone talking about it today, and they were just like, well, all actors are scummy. We just don't know about it. It's true. A lot of people, I think all people are scummy. We all have some scummy in us. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's your choice. And if you choose to see it, you choose not to see it, more power to you. I think people should just let people do what they want to do when it comes to stuff like this, media and stuff like that. If there is something problematic, there's no reason to call it out. Want to call out Ezra Miller? Go right ahead. Want to call out Warner Brothers for continuing to push this movie? Go ahead. That's your choice. But at the end of the day, it's about choice. That's all I'm saying. Guardians 3 Blue Quantum Man. I gotta go. I've seen spoilers and everything, so I've already seen it. So I want to take my daughter to see it, but I'm excited to see that. I want to see it because I heard it's really emotional, and we all need a good cry every once in a while. What up, Adelia? Congrats on your coming championship. Facts. Hey, Bronny, thanks. I'm not ready to say we're winning it all yet. Yeah, see, she's tempering her expectations, but if they have a chance to win the game, Adelia, and I'm not working or something, I would love to do a live stream of with you in that last game, and when they win it, just to see your reaction, because I think it's gonna be gold. If you want, or not with me, do a live stream because I want to see your reaction of when they win. If they win the championship, your reaction. So I think that's something you should do. Yeah, I have no problem with people wanting to see the Flash. I just don't. Yeah, there you go. See, and there's a lot of things being put out about it. A lot of already reviews about it. So, and again, I'll try to, if I'm able to do stuff, I will. I know I'm doing the Ahsoka series with Jay, and we're going to talk some more other stuff, doing some reviews on stuff. If you have anything you would like me to review, let me know, and I definitely want to do it. Guardians 3 isn't for kids, Suge. I mean, it's a Marvel movie. What do you mean it's not for kids? So, with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. It has been an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm going to get out of here. I once again appreciate you all for being here today. Once again, you can follow me at SugeKnight323, TikTok and Twitter, SugeKnight1323 on Twitch, where I usually stream video games or Magic tournaments that I'm playing in. And you can find me here at SugeKnight323 on YouTube. Like I said, I will be back. Steel Conspiracy will be back. It's not going anywhere. So make sure you come back for the season when Steelers and the Ravens start playing in the preseason. I appreciate all of you. Have a good night. Talk to you later.
Image, your beats are so fire.
I feel we can beat the Browns. We can compete with Baltimore if they have Lamar. And we're right there with them.
That young man put his life on the line for you, for your entertainment.
We were talking all before the game. Everyone was like, "Nah, Ravens don't have a shot," and they're right there.